You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network. Radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us all swear allegiance to a land that's still free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise up our voices to the air with this solemn prayer. God bless America. God, please save America today. God bless America, this land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God
Yes, folks, I know it was an unusual opening to the show, but I thought we needed it. We're going to get the first break out of the way before we officially kick things off. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back in just about 60 seconds. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. As soon as I find the right button, I had too many sounds playing. All right, so we've got about a minute's worth of a break. We have got to get out of the way. This one belongs to the network, so I have to take it. We'll be right back.
These are the times that we'll try. They'll try me so.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Hardin. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at rahardin.com. That's the World Wide Web at rahardin.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Hardin to see and purchase his books.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Yeah, we had a bit of an unusual show opening, but you know what? I don't care. We played God Bless America at the opening of the show. I don't care. You don't like it, turn it off. Things are changing for me, folks. And I know I say this because I have these epiphany moments about once every 6 months, but something is different for me. Because yesterday should have changed a lot of things in this country, and it didn't. This should have been a light bulb moment for 99% of the country, and apparently it was not. This is not a left-right issue. This is a hate issue. This is not us versus them, left versus right, conservative versus liberal. That is not what this is. Or at least it's not what it should be. We have calls for violence on all sides. We have the alt-right. We have Antifa. We have every other hate group in between. Black Lives Matter. All of them at one point or another within the last 24 months have been calling for people to be hurt, to be killed, to be maimed, whatever it took to get their point across. And we are living in the carnage of those moments. There are dark days ahead for America. I have been saying that for going on 10 years. No one has been listening to me. You know what? I don't care anymore. Because I can see it. I have seen it coming for nearly a decade, and I knew we were headed that way. I knew it as soon as the Patriot Act passed. That was the benchmark. That was the turning point, because that was the day that a free government suddenly turned against its people. A government of the people, by the people, and for the people became the government of surveilling the people. That was a turning point for me. This is hard for me to talk about because George W. Bush listens to this show. He has listened since I interviewed his father's chief of staff. He doesn't listen every day, but I know that he listens because I get messages from people that he associates with that, well, he didn't really like that you said this, or he wishes you would have put it this way. Look, and I get it. He was a human being. He did what he thought he needed to do. And I get it. But it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea then. It's a worse idea now. And it was one of the turning points where the government that was supposed to be here for us was starting to be turned against us. And I understand why. But it was still one of those turning points. And there have been many since then. I have listened to the left for 48 hours, bashing President Trump for being so hateful on the campaign trail. It's his fault that we're here. It's his fault that we're where we are. Never mind the fact that at that point he was a private citizen. Because those are the same excuses they give for folks like Kathy, the beheader. And all of the other people, like Snoop Dogg, that put out a video where there's somebody dressed like President Trump and he's shooting him. Or the Shakespeare in the Park play, where it's a modern version of Julius Caesar, and at the end of the play, the sitting president is assassinated. Now, I've done some research. Apparently, that's been a bit of a trend. I guess there was an Obama play that was fairly similar. But still, if you take all of these things, all of these seemingly innocent, isolated incidents, and you start wrapping them up with the constant bombardment from the mainstream media about the fact that President Trump is not the actual president because he didn't win legitimately. I didn't even vote for the man, and I can't stand the fact that these people are trying to strip it from him. Because he won it. He won the Electoral College vote. That makes him president. If you don't like it, then feel free to move to Canada. Feel free to move to Great Britain. Feel free to move anywhere else but here, but sit down and shut the hell up, because he won. When you start using words like resist, and you start calling for violence in the streets, what did you think was going to happen? This should have been a turning point. This should have been enough to wake people up. And instead, we are still just as angry, just as hateful, and just as divided as we were 48 hours ago. I don't know if this country can be saved. I don't say that to boost ratings. I don't say that to work people up. I say it because honestly, in this moment, that is what I feel. Not only am I not sure that we can be saved, I'm no longer certain we deserve to be saved. A vast majority of us watched another human being be gunned down and others shot at and terrorized. And we've made jokes about it. That is terrible. And I get it. You know, I've had this shoved down my... I almost said something I shouldn't have said on the radio. So I have had this shoved down my throat sideways for the last day and a half. Now, Rick, you can't lump everybody together with this guy. Not all the liberals feel this way, Rick. Really? You know what? Then how come so many of them are silent? Isn't that what we ask about the Muslims? Because that's the same thing whenever we talk about the Muslims and the crazy Muslims. Well, if there are so many peaceful Muslims, why don't they do anything about the violent ones? You know, if the majority of the left doesn't feel this way, why don't they do something about the part of the left that does? We keep waiting on people like the Islamists to police themselves, but yet we don't seem to expect the same thing from the leftist. The right does a fairly good job of policing ourselves. We will disown any mofo in a heartbeat that says something that we don't believe that they should have said or done. Ask anybody in the alt-right, because they call themselves conservatives, we laugh in their faces. Because they're not. They do not represent our ideals. It's no different than when you try to lump a regular, everyday, normal, sane, practicing Christian with a Westboro Baptist. They call themselves Christians, we laugh in their faces. And we tell them that they're not. And we stand up to them. We send people at the funerals that they're going to go protest. I actually am part of one. I know someone and used to be affiliated with someone who used to help organize the counter-protest against the Westboro Baptists. Because we're Christians, and we're not going to let somebody co-opt our religion. That's why we keep saying to the quote-unquote peaceful Muslims, Stop letting people co-opt your religion. If you're telling me this isn't you, then fix it. So I am telling you, the left, right now, tonight, just like we have done with the alt-right, because we have decried them in every way, shape, and form possible. If this isn't you, then you need to speak up. And you need to quit making excuses, and you need to stop saying, well, maybe now the Republicans will be interested in gun control. You know what? Take your gun control, shine it up really nice, turn it sideways, and put it where the sun don't shine, because I ain't interested in hearing about gun control anymore. This is not a gun control problem. This is a human problem. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get back. We have got to take a break. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We will be back here in just about 3 minutes. Stay tuned, and please do not go away. I do hope everybody's having a great night. Yes, I know I'm wound up, but some of this stuff just has to be said. I'm done holding back. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
This way comes these times. These are the times that we'll try.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
Hey, this is John Preston, Marine Combat Veteran and Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes, an album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
Welcome back, America. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We're coming to you live from KLRNradio.com. Want to give a quick shout-out to the affiliates. We have AMFM247.com, where the show can be heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We have the, almost said the old name. We have the Lanterns Radio Network every Monday through Friday, where the show can be heard at 2 p.m. Eastern. And also we have newly rebranded Talk America Radio, the Liberty Channel, where the show can be heard every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern. I want to thank everybody who takes the time to carry us, and we appreciate the support. Also, we have crntalk.com, one of our largest affiliates, where the show can actually be heard every Saturday and Sunday, is carried into 11 million homes, and through help with them, we are going to be working on expanding over the next 24 to 36 months into 200 terrestrial markets. So if you are an advertiser and actually are looking to get your your product in as many homes, as many different cars, and as many different markets as possible, we may have an advertising package for you. We have some stuff that we're working on right now to start pushing out to the masses. We should have it ready to go within the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that if you are interested. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter and shoot me a DM, or you can email me at rick@klrnradio.com. We'll work on getting something situated. Also, if you enjoy listening to the show Memorex, there are about a half a dozen or so different ways you can do that. You can do that through iHeartRadio, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, FM Player, Blueberry, Pocket Cast. I think I said Google Play Music already, and I know there's at least one or two more that I never can remember. But those are pretty much all the different ways that you can find this. And again, if you enjoy interacting with me, which I hope that you do, you are welcome to do that anytime, either on Facebook or Twitter or through email. Again, you can do that by following along at AOTR_host. You can go find Rick Robinson on Facebook or the America Off the Rails Facebook page. If you decide to do the professional profile page, because that's what that is, I don't give out my personal. So if you don't know me or you're not affiliated with some people that I already know, you are not going to get that one. But you can find me. Just search for Rick Robinson. You'll see the little cartoon Avi of the guy that looks like he's on the cover of Time magazine. No, I'm not that facetious. I just thought it stood out because apparently there are like a million Rick Robinsons out there. Who knew? And of course, if you are old school, you can always shoot me an email at rick@klrnradio.com. However you decide to interact or however you decide to listen, it is just an honor to me that you do so. So I want to thank everybody who does day in and day out. Our numbers are continuing to grow. We hit a slump there for a while when I got sick, but now we are back to hitting very, very large numbers on the shows. So again, I want to thank everybody for helping us, supporting us, and continuing to pray for us and everything else that you guys do. And I don't mention this very often, but for those of you that interact on a regular basis, and those that especially that I know by name, so a lot of the fans that I do know by name, I actually do take time to pray for you all of the time, and I just want you to know that. Because the fact that you guys take the time out of your day to spend it with me, even if it's just an hour here and there, some of you I know listen in pieces, some of you grab 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Look, whatever part of your life you decide to make me a part of, that's important to me, because that's what matters. So I just wanted to take just a moment, because I know I have been really worked up for the last couple of days, to remind you guys that this is all about you guys. This isn't just about me having a platform or somewhere that I can vent, scream, and yell and make myself feel better. I do this because of the fact that there are so many of you that listen. Now, granted, I am crazy enough that I would do it even if nobody did, but it doesn't change the fact that a lot of you, and even more of you every day, are starting to tune in, follow along, and keep up with what's going on. Now, we are up for the hard break at the bottom of the hour. I have no choice but to take this one. So we are going to take that one, get it out of the way, and when we come back, we're going to keep talking about the dark days ahead and what is likely to happen if we do not change something. And hopefully we'll have time to get to some of the things that we can do to make changes. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
To becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from the critique of the short story through to line edits on full-length novels. We also offer assistance on generating writer's bios for your websites. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687. 687.
And Pacific Records recording artist. Just reaching out to have you check out our new album, Battle Cry, Songs of America's Heroes. An album featuring phenomenal other combat veteran artists like Scott Brown of the Scooter Brown Band, Ryan Weaver, Rowdy Johnson, just an incredible mix of people. This is all veterans telling our stories and our lives, and we're giving 100% of our proceeds to the Valkyrie Initiative to help veterans and first responders integrate back into society. I myself have battled with post-traumatic stress for many years and lost my own brother, a Marine Corps veteran, to suicide. I ask that you step with us and make this happen. We are in pre-order right now and release on March 17th. Go to iTunes, go to Amazon, buy. We plan on making the charts and making it at a very high level, and your support right now makes a difference. This is the release of my new song, Superman Falls, which is actually about the loss of my own brother, which happened last year, and I would love for everyone to check it out, to listen, and hopefully it'll make a difference in many lives.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
All right, America, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson, coming to you live from KLRNradio.com, where we're live every Sunday through Thursday. Want to remind folks you can tune in live tomorrow night for the Robinson and Wright Show, coming right here on KLRN Radio as well. That is every Friday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. On that one, we take on a co-host. That is yours truly and Mr. Dan Wright, host of The Right Side, here live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Also want to remind folks that Wednesday, June 28th, we have FUBAR, One Nation Under Fu. Politibunny, otherwise known as Sam Janney, Twitter editor extraordinaire, and actual former radio host, is coming back to radio, coming home to KLRN Radio. We want to welcome her back. If you didn't get a chance to hear a couple of episodes that she's put out recently to announce the fact that she was coming back, a couple of weeks back on G's 100th episode, she was on with him for pretty much the entire hour. She was only supposed to be on with me and Dan last week for like 10 minutes. We kidnapped her, kept her on for the whole hour. Make sure you check those out if you haven't yet. It's really great to have her coming back. And I think that's all the housekeeping. See, this gave me a chance to kind of calm down because I really, really was angry at the beginning of the show. And I don't like being as angry as I am right now, even if I feel it's justified. The problem is it's really, really justified. Because what drives me crazy, and Jen and I talked about this on the last hour, the same leftists that are telling us that we don't need our guns are the same ones that are going around shooting people with guns. When is the last time that a conservative was involved in a mass shooting incident? Because I can't think of one. Everybody mentions Dylan Roof, but I don't really consider him a conservative. He was just a nut bar. Now, I know to liberals, we are the nut bars, and that's why they think that Dylan Roof was a conservative. No, he wasn't conservative. He was racist. There was a particular party that was the racist. They're still pretty much the racist. They just hide it better. Or they used to. Now they don't even. I mean, dude, really think about some of the things that sitting members of the Democratic Party and former members of the Democratic Party said about President Obama, President-elect Obama, President-candidate Obama, and you tell me which side are really the racist. I remember hearing about an off-the-cuff remark Bill Clinton made to a group of Democratic high-ranking officials when he said, 20 years ago, that boy'd be getting my coffee. But somehow we're the racist ones. Joe Biden, I've never met a more clean, well-spoken, articulate black man in my life. Now, come on, this is Joe Biden we're talking about here. Same guy that gave people illegal advice. Remember, buy a shotgun and fire off warning shots? Do me a favor. Before you listen to a politician that tells you to buy a weapon and that it's okay to fire off warning shots, check the municipality laws in your area, because somebody took his advice a few years back and they were cited with reckless endangerment and unlawful discharge of a firearm in city limits. Just saying. See, there's this thing about warning shots. They're actually illegal in, I believe it's actually all 50 states now. There was one that was a holdout, but they're illegal now. Because what goes up must come down. I used to work the club scene as private security for about 18 years. There was a group of clubs that we were at every night. Rain, shine, snow, sleet, whatever. Every New Year's Eve, we actually had to put a call out over the radios to get everybody under cover because there were houses near us that would shoot off guns in the air at New Year's Eve. And I had an officer the first year that I was out there, when I was actually the lieutenant for the property and not actually the owner of the company, who was wounded because of the fact that he wasn't undercover, and what goes up must come down. This is why you must understand the rules and the laws when it comes to guns. But the scariest thing about this, and again, I want to drive this point home because this is still driving me crazy. This was not a conservative. This was a man who voted for Bernie Sanders. This was a man who volunteered for Bernie Sanders' campaign, which means he was actively participating in the event to attempt to elect someone who we know wanted stricter gun controls, stricter gun control laws, more background checks, whatever hoops they think they need to make you jump through to keep you away from guns, they want you to do them. But what good does it do? Because this guy wants gun control but can't keep himself from discharging a weapon. Look, I said it last night. I'm gonna say it again. You cannot uninvent the gun. We cannot keep making this about the instruments of destruction. The gun is an inanimate object. It does not have the ability to pull itself off of a nightstand, load itself, hop down the hallway, hop into a car, drive itself to a baseball field, hop out, jump up and down a few times to make itself go off and start shooting at congressmen. There has to be a person involved in all of these things to make them happen. This was a conscious act by a person with a sick mind. But it doesn't change the fact that he had spent the last several weeks immersing himself in the left echo chamber. He was a member of a Facebook group called Terminate Republicans. Can somebody check with me and get back with me on Twitter? Can you find anything on Facebook like a group called Terminate Democrats? Because I'm curious to know if anything like that would even be allowed to exist. And yet this guy is like in a group called Terminate Republicans. I can just imagine, sitting around talking about needlepoint, crocheting, what music do you like? No, I'm sure it was none of that. It was Donald Trump's an a-hole. Donald Trump must die. Donald Trump stole the election. Hillary should have been my president. Somebody pass me my coloring book and my puppy dog because I'm having a moment here. I've had it. We are living in a world that has been turned on its head. We were the ones that were demonized after we lost in 2008. We were also the ones that began peaceful protests. I don't remember any instances of Tea Party members swinging bike locks at people, taking baseball bats to protests, breaking windows, trashing out places. None of that happened because we understand the process. The left not only doesn't understand the process, for the most part, just because I know I'm about to get an email, they hate the process. Most of the left hate this country. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'll get called on the carpet for it. Somebody will yell at me for it, but I'm not going to take it back. Most of the left hate this country and everything that it stands for because freedom scares them. Because freedom means that there is a gun behind every blade of grass. Freedom means that they could be shot the moment they step out of their door. Freedom means they could be run over by a drunk driver the second they step out of their door. They live in constant fear. And what they don't understand is why we don't live in constant fear with them. This is why they keep attacking us. Because we're going about our daily lives, doing the things that we need to do, being glad that we're in still one of the freest countries on the earth. And glad, I for one again am glad, Hillary Clinton is not president. Just had to say that again, because no, I did not vote for Trump, but I am still a million times over more happy that he is president than she is, because I really did not think he was going to win. Now, there have been plenty of things that he has done that I have disagreed with, and I have taken plenty of time to call them out. And I just realized we're up to a network break, so I have to take this one. We'll be right back here in about 2 minutes. Don't go away, lots more to talk about.
George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
You like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
All right, folks, welcome back. Believe it or not, we are just about out of time. I think I'm going to call an audible again. The last break of the show's mine, and I think we're going to skip it because I got just about enough time to maybe get the points out that I need to make. So, Mr. Engineer, if you're paying attention, we may or may not run the last break for the last couple minutes of the hour. But for right now, we're holding off. All right, so where were we before the break? The crazy left and the fact that they seem to be the ones that are running around shooting people. I cannot wrap my head around this. They're the ones that are telling us that we don't need guns. There don't need to be as many guns. But they're the ones that are shooting everybody. So I have an idea. Instead of banning guns, can we just ban Democrats? Now, some of you are laughing right now. I'm being serious. This seems to be something that can be addressed without gun control. These seem to be the people that can't seem to decide whether or not they can control themselves around firearms. So maybe we should pass gun laws. Maybe registered Democrats shouldn't be allowed to own firearms. Yes, I'm being facetious. No hate mail. But still, it's as crazy as the ideas of, well, we need stricter gun control laws. You know, the interesting thing about laws, there's an old saying, and I heard a friend of mine say it the other day, and it reminded me of the same thing because my great-grandfather used to say something very, very similar. Locks and laws will only stop the lawful. Gun laws will only stop the lawful. These are the people that we want to have guns, because these are the people that, in the event that the police cannot get there in a timely manner, may be armed and be able to render assistance if needed when somebody does something crazy. And for those, and I can hear this because I've had this argument again today too, and I don't know why it doesn't equate. Because all I hear all day long is we don't need guns because that's what we have police for. I have 3 fire extinguishers in my home. Now granted, I live in the country, so that's one reason why we have 3. Along with a really long really long water hose and access to good water. Because for me, the fire department is a ways away. But even in this city, there was a fire extinguisher under my kitchen sink. There was a fire extinguisher at least one other place in the house. Because I didn't want to have to depend on the firemen. If I could help it. That's what those of us that are law-abiding, hard-carrying members of the NRA, with our concealed carry permits, or if it's a state that allows open carry, that's who we are. We are the ones that carry a weapon because we know there are those of you in public who will refuse to. And we do not want to watch anything happen to you. But we're the ones that are vilified. Guys like this, they're given a pass because it's the NRA's fault. Guys like this are given a pass because it's the Republicans' fault. Because if they would only do something about these nasty guns, guys like this couldn't have done what they did. I wonder how Cain would feel, or Abel would feel about gun control laws. Didn't stop what happened with them. Since everybody's idea of violence seems to revolve around the gun, so there was no violence before the musket? I seem to remember sword fights and crossbows and catapults and pikemen. Violence is violence. We need to focus on the cause of the violence. We need to focus on the people that are being motivated to cause the violence, not the instruments of the violence. And the first thing we need to do is start calling things as we see them. I am so tired of me trying to point out that I'm done pulling punches with Democrats when it comes to gun control. Because I have seen too many of them try to use this tragedy and countless others to push their advantage and their ideology. And their ideology will fix nothing. It will solve nothing. Look at what has recently happened in Great Britain. Look at what has recently happened in France. Those 2 countries have some of the strictest gun control laws on the planet, and yet people are still murdered every day. Mass terrorist incidents happen all the time. More than they happen here. But nobody talks about that because it's the gun's fault. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the equivocating. I'm sick of all of the people that are on social media right now going, we cannot say these things because there are just as many crazy people on the right. You're damn right they are, and I call out as many of them as I can see. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We don't equivocate about it. We don't mince words about it. We say, no, you, right there, with the frog in your Avi, you are wrong. What you just said there was wrong. I don't care if you call me a cuck. I don't care whatever else you call me. What you just said there, what you did there was wrong. Because that's what we do. Because that's part of holding people accountable. That's part of believing in personal accountability. Because yes, people should be personally accountable for their actions. But at the same time, we must police those that say they hold our ideals. And make sure that they do. Gee, I think that's in the Bible somewhere. Or something very similar. Maybe that's where maybe that's where it comes from me. Because what has been driving me crazy is all of these people on the left that, well, maybe this will finally wake up the Republicans. Maybe this will finally make them understand how much we need gun control. So you're willing to watch somebody who apparently espouses your ideals open fire on innocent people practicing for a charity event, playing the nation's pastime. And you're okay with watching that person gun people down because maybe it will teach them a lesson. That's what's wrong with this country. That is the dark place that we are in right now. We do not have the ability to see anything from anyone else's perspective. And I try to do that as much as I can. There was an exchange that I had yesterday in the heat of all of this stuff. And I realized that the person that was coming across as completely unhinged because she is terrified of the fact that in America there's a gun on every corner and a gun in every car. But I realized what was driving her fear. She had a relative that was murdered by someone wielding a gun. And then I understood a little bit better. It didn't change anything for me because I tried to make her understand that I spent a better part of my life carrying a gun in service to my community and then in service to my contracts. And then in service to my fellow armed security officers, my fellow unarmed security officers, private investigators, all of the different things that we did under the umbrella of that company involved me carrying a firearm. And again, maybe that's what makes it different from me, because they're not a mystical thing for me. They're a tool. They're a tool used for defense. That's what they were intended to be. When they are used in offense, that is the problem. Yesterday was an offensive incident. This person did not come under fire from anyone else. No one was openly attacking him. He chose to take a gun into a public place, brandish it, felony, fire it, felony. But gun laws are going to stop people. But Rick, he wouldn't have been able to get the gun. Really? You ever hear of the black market? I mean, come on. Seriously. You know, and look, as someone that has been involved in law enforcement and actually has done some tours through some facilities where people are housed and actually done some rotations in and out of those in one capacity or another, do you realize how easy it is to actually make a homemade gun? So please don't tell me that laws will make things better, because they won't. Because again, and I know I said this last night, but I'm coming back to it again, because unless there really is a ginormous flashy thingy from MIB in hiding in the Statue of Liberty, and unless we can fire it off and everybody around the world can see it and somebody yells as loud as they can, guns are not real, they no longer exist, and it actually works, then we are going to be stuck with guns on the planet, because you cannot uninvent the wheel. But there are things that we can do. I talked about this a little bit on Jen and Rick with Jen just a minute ago. One of the things that should have happened, because look, I will give Congress credit for yesterday. They made all the right moves. They said all the right things. It seemed genuine. It seemed sincere. Most of them were honestly and visibly scared. So I get it. But they said all the right things yesterday. But where were the Democrats when Black Lives Matter were screaming pigs in a blanket fry 'em like bacon? Where were the Democratic congressmen when their fellow Democrats were calling for fighting people in the streets? Where was the Democratic outrage when Barack Obama, tongue-in-cheekly apparently, during a rally or a meeting while he was candidate Obama, quoted, actually I think he quoted from The Untouchables. Somebody had asked him, well, how are you gonna take the fight to the Republicans? Oh, it's easy. If they bring a knife, we bring a gun. It's the Chicago way. And everybody laughed and everybody chuckled. But then a few years later, you have Tim Kaine talking about, after they had lost, the fact that they had all this momentum and that they were going to have to find a way to fight to keep their momentum, and they were going to have to fight in the ballot box, and they were going to have to fight in the streets. Words matter to Democrats. Remember, words hurt. So why don't those words matter? But Rick, it was just a joke. Rick, it was said in fun. You guys are the same ones that tell me that if I let my kid play 30 seconds of a video game, he's going to go postal. But these words were okay because they were jokes. Your logic is the problem, because it's okay as long as it's your side that's doing it. Whatever it is, as long as it's a Republican or a Democrat doing it, you're good, you're golden, you're fine. I mean, at least I attempt to be consistent. Yes, I am currently defending the sitting president of the United States because he's coming under fire from all directions and there's not a damn thing that he can do about it, and he hasn't done anything wrong. Until you can bring me proof, then stop attacking the man. I mean, literally, he was ridiculed today because yesterday evening, when the mainstream media suddenly turned on a dime and started talking about the fact unnamed sources are saying that the special prosecutor is now looking into Donald Trump for obstruction of justice. And all of a sudden, Donald Trump sees that story change and starts listing all the things that have gone wrong under the Obama administration. And wants to know why they're talking about obstruction now. Oh my God, he can't go through one news cycle without making something about him. No, you guys can't go through one news cycle without making something about him. Could you have let the man have his birthday, for God's sake? I mean, the man literally spent his birthday visiting a congressman who was injured and in the hospital, and you guys are attacking him. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. There is no decency left anymore. As soon as there's blood in the water anywhere, it's on, brother. That's it. Ooh, he's going down. We got him now. Look at what just happened again today. So there were 2 shootings yesterday. One in California with some of the strictest gun control laws ever, but somehow somebody managed to get a gun. But gun control laws work. Then the one in Virginia, in Alexandria. Today, someone decided to shoot up a truck that had the Make America Great Again painted across the side of it with American flag streaming on it. And yet somehow we're the problem. Folks, we have run out of time. I'm actually officially long. So sadly, we did not get into what we would be able to do to fix this mess. Maybe Dan and I will touch on that some tomorrow. If not, tune back in Monday. We'll pick up right where we left off, because I'm sure it'll still be all over the news cycle. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Until we meet again, take care. God bless. Lord willing, I will be with you right here live tomorrow night. We'll see you then. God bless.